Greetings to our members and friends of First Baptist Church Piney Grove. We are glad you joined us to find out what's going on at The Grove. We are dedicated to ensuring that we stay connected to you during these challenging times. It is our prayer that you remain safe, healthy, and blessed. Now, let's find out what's going on at The Grove from our pastor, the Reverend Dr. Derek J. Hughes.
Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. Derek Hughes of First Baptist Church Piney Grove, and today is Friday, July 10th, 2020. Let me say thank you for being a part of this podcast once again, and I want to thank you who have continued to follow and get information that I believe is pertinent not only to our church, but to our community and to our country. And for those who listen to us outside of the state of Florida, I want to tell you how humbled I am for you to be a part of this time together. Thank you for being a part of this. I want to start, first of all, today talking about something that is dear to us. I am a parent. I have 4 small children. And right now, parents all over the country are wondering what is the best thing to do as it relates to how and if to send their children back to school. Our president is demanding that children go back to school 5 days a week in person. And then there are other issues going on. Some governors are demanding the same. But we're finding contrary information as relates to some of our scientists who suggest that the environments that we possibly will send them to will not be conducive for our children's safety. Some are suggesting that there's a hybrid combination of how our children learn, maybe in person a few days a week, and as well via technology online. Well, I can say for certain that the way that they have been involved in things in person has helped. But I would also say that lately how they have learned through technology has been phenomenal as well. And as we look at the future, our life, our society will continue to be driven by technology, and they will need to be able to use technology as it relates to work, information, etc. And so I certainly want to see a part of the technology and the distance-based learning be part of the equation. But what I don't want to see happen, and what I suggest that we be careful of, is sending our children into harm's way as it relates to being in person and having the possibility of contracting COVID-19. We have heard from scientists initially that children were not susceptible to the virus, only to find out that that's not true. We're hearing as well that the particles from our mouth will only stay in the air a few seconds and only travel a few feet, only to find out now that it's airborne and can remain in the air up to 16 hours. We're hearing now as well that COVID cases also can bring with it brain damage. And these are things that are certainly raising a lot of attention to parents and, of course, and of much concern. And so I would suggest that until we can get a better handle on understanding this enemy, this invisible enemy that we are fighting, and understand how it operates and what to do and what environments would be safe, that we should be careful not to send our children back to a face-to-face environment until we can discover. I can say personally that my 4 children will not be going back to a face-to-face environment until we get a better handle on what's going on. as a parent and as parents, we have responsibility not to send our children in harm's way. Also, I want to talk about something else that's important, and that is voting. If you are eligible to vote and you are not voting, or if you are not registered to vote, shame on you. You must, if you have the ability to get registered, if you have the ability to vote, you must get registered and you must vote. Excuse me. But I will say this, because of COVID-19, we cannot risk waiting until the day of August 18 and November 3rd to cast our ballots. I am strongly promoting vote by mail. The question and the position is only active voters will be receiving vote by mail request cards. If you haven't voted in the last 2 years, or the last 2 major elections, you have been put on an inactive voter list. Now you can check your voter status at www.browardsoe.org. It is imperative that you request your card and fill it out in its entirety so that you can get the voter by mail registration. Excuse me. What I'm also suggesting is that you can, once you get your ballot and you're ready to vote by mail, if you would bring it to our church, 4699 West Oakland Park Boulevard in Lauderdale Lakes, 33313, by August 8th, we will hand deliver it. Make sure that it is given to the Supervisor of Elections office. Now, make sure you sign it and make sure it's sealed, because that's the only way it's going to be counted. It has to be signed on the outside as well and sealed, and we'll make sure that it gets to where it needs to go, because Broward now no longer has the ability to process the elections, the votes rather. They are going to the USPS Mail Distribution Center down in Opelika before it returns to Broward. So we want to get it ahead of time so that we can make sure your vote is counted. Now, we only want a fair election, but we want your vote counted. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. That's the democratic process. That's what we want. This is a state of the people, for the people, by the people. That's what we want. Whether you are Democrat, whether you're Republican, Independent, or some other association, we want a fair election for all. Let the best man or woman win. Thank you very much. Also, I want to encourage, if you are listening to this podcast, whether you are Black, whether you are white, whether you are Hispanic, Asian, Native American, I want to encourage you to stop and have some tough questions with some people who don't look like you as it relates to racism. And I want you to listen as well. I want you to listen to, I'm a Black person, but I want to listen to whites. I want to listen to Hispanics. I want to listen to Asians and Native Americans as they listen to us. We got to start having these tough conversations as we are taking advantage of what I believe is nothing but a God move. We're having conversations like we've never had before. We're seeing things happen like we've never seen before. This is clearly a God move. Let's continue to do those things to make our country a better place to live. I'm an American and I love this country. It's my country. But even though it's my country, I love it, but I still don't mind criticizing it when I need to. You ought to be able to speak truth to power and have concerns for imperfections. That's the American way. All right, Piney Grove. Again, we are about to introduce new times for how and when we will be airing the broadcast. So you'll be listening for that. And again, I want to thank you all for how you listen. Our number one mode of listening right now is on our website and on our church app. That's our number one mode of listeners. Our number two mode of listeners now is on YouTube Live. We just introduced YouTube Live just a few weeks ago, and it has moved to the number two source of how people listen to our worship services, and on Wednesday as well, Bible study. Number three is Facebook. And we're seeing some of our Facebook listeners move to the other modems as well. But we're grateful to you as well. And we're also seeing those who are technologically advanced are calling in on the phone. And we're seeing those numbers grow as well. So if you know someone who's not technologically advanced, you can give them that phone number while service is live between 10 and 11 on Wednesdays. On Sunday, and on Wednesday between 7 and 8 p.m. Bible study. They can call in and listen to the service just on their phones. What a wonderful opportunity. We have 5 platforms in which one can be a part of our worship experiences. And again, don't forget our children and youth worship are operating on 2 platforms, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And as well, we're seeing YouTube Live having the larger amount of watchers and listeners and participants on its modem of application versus on Facebook Live. Also, don't forget Zoom, Bible study for our millennials. You'll see the link in the advertisements going forward. It is open to anybody. It's open to everybody. You don't have to be a member of Piney Grove. You just have to be between the ages of 20 and 39 and listen to and be a part of that millennial Bible study as they discuss real, practical, everyday issues as it relates to how millennials perceive them and deal with them. Encourage people that you know in those age brackets to be a part of that. Amen. Every day, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., we are in prayer. Oh God, we are in prayer, and it has been moving. We're seeing God move, shaking the foundations of this world, and we're grateful. Let's stand in the gap. Let's stand in the gap together. Would you do that? Invite whatever state you're in, be a part of this free conference call that you can call in and be a part of this time to pray. As we pray for our country, our states, our governors, legislations, our families, we're in prayer, and we look forward to seeing you to be a part of this great time. Let's be a part together. Let's pray together. As well, we're involved in our church school on Saturdays. Church school on Saturdays, hip, hip, hooray. Church schools on Saturday is going phenomenally well. I want to thank Deacon Kay Faulkner and his entire staff for doing a wonderful job. And for those of you who are calling in, listening, being a part of the church school, thank you so much for your participation as you learn and grow together. Also, I want to thank all of you who are involved now in small groups. I want to ask you, those listening to this, if you're not on a small group right now, I'm going to ask you to do this. Would you do this for me as your pastor and let me know? Would you just go ahead and join a small group and then let me know? You can call me, call the church, email me. Just let me know. Put it on Facebook, etc. when we're watching on live, and just say, Pastor, I've joined a small group. I would certainly appreciate that. And I want to call you out and give you a shout out. If you do that, I'll give you a shout out. I promise you, I will do that. I want to see you join small groups. God bless you. Thank you so very much for all that you do to help make First Baptist Church, Piney Grove, a wonderful place. When are we going to be back in virtual worship? In public corporate worship? I don't know. Pray that God will give direction and also open the doors so that we believe that it will be safe to do so. We will only do so when I believe the Lord is leading me to say it's safe. Safety over numbers. Safety over desires. That is what's most important. Also, I want to encourage you to give to support this work at First Baptist Church, Piney Grove. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, what a testimony it would be, so the world can see the church was continuing to be the church. Coming up real soon, we're going to have a major initiative, we're going to have 1.5 million pounds of food that we're going to give away. And of course, that costs. Yeah, we're partnering with an agency, but it costs Piney Grove to help produce this, to put this on. I need your support. We're trying to do the best we can to serve our fellow man as we do ministry during pandemic times. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, stop right now and give. You can text your offering to 77977 and give. You can drive by on Fridays and Saturdays. On Saturdays, just Saturdays, 9 to 12 on Saturdays, and drop off your offering. Tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., you can drop off your offering. Please do that. We need your support. Also, you can mail it to us at 4699 West Oakland Park Boulevard, Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, 33313. You can go online and give it. You can go to the app and give. We just need you to support the work of the Lord as we do ministry. There are people who've been called in who need help. We've tried to do our best to help as many as possible. We need to continue to do ministry. On July 28th, and it is coming. It's coming. Somebody say it's coming. Our Family Life Conference is coming. Our Family Life Conference is coming. And I think I just gave you the wrong date, but I'll get you the right date. In fact, there's the flyer. You'll see it right there in front of you now. You see the correct date of the new revised Family Life Conference. It's going to take place in August. You see it now? August. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, don't miss the Family Life Conference. Again, we're talking about trying to produce and cost. We need your financial support to help us to do ministry at a level that we believe God has called us to do. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of this podcast. Have a great day.